Hey, y'all, welcome back to another episode of Who Knows Best. I am your host, Cassie Bollinger, and tonight we have an incredibly special guest, Patty Wunder. Wait, did I say that right? I didn't even double check. Uh, Patty's Scentsy journey is nothing short of inspiring. She started back in 2015 when Scentsy launched in New Zealand, and in just 7 months, she became a director, surpassing her full-time income. But that is just the beginning. Before we share her story, I just want to make sure we introduce all of our co-hosts on here. Yeah, Miss Jackie Duran.
I am Jackie Duran.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I did that so wrong. It's all right. We're just going anyways. She's gonna. So Patty is going to share her story of how she transitioned her customers, the challenges of starting over, and the powerful global impact of building a team that stretches across borders. Plus, we're going to talk about how Scentsy became her ride or die, her die, giving her freedom to be with her partner during the hardest times and ultimately transforming her life. We got a couple of, I see, I kind of messed that up. That's okay. That's how we do it on the fly. So we're just going to go ahead and dive in. Patty, I'm just going to go ahead and spotlight you, and you have the floor, and let me know what you need.
All right, thanks. Hey everyone. This is my first podcast, so this is I'm a little nervous, but we'll go with it because I'm just pretending it's a Zoom. Um, um, I started Scentsy the minute it launched in New Zealand, in March 2015. And I had just had one of my back operations like 2 weeks before that, and I thought, this will give me something to do while I recover. But I attended but at that time we had like conference calls. I can't, whatever they were called back then. And I attended one. I had my first recruit was within 8 hours of joining. It was my neighbor. And then she came over and we attended this training at like 1 o'clock. And they did something called the Booking Blitz. Now, I hadn't smelt Scentsy. I didn't know what Scentsy was. I didn't have my kit. We didn't get our kit for like months, like at least a month. Like it was crazy. And I, and I actually am laughing because that first recruit, the recruiting wasn't working. The button or something wasn't working. So they had to sign up under my superstar director. And then we had to sign transfer paperwork to bring her back to put her under me. Launching a new country. And so I just remember that. That's so weird. And we went on this call, a booking blitz, and they told us kind of what to say and how it worked. And I was like, okay, I don't really know that many people, but I'll just start with anybody in my phone. And I started basically messaging, and the word wickless candle was what we were using then. Yeah. And because Christchurch, New Zealand had been through so many earthquakes and we were still having aftershocks, people were anti-candle, big time, because of you don't want candles falling over while there's an aftershock. So I got some no's right away, and I was like, because someone's like, no candles, no candles. I'm like, no, you're not getting it. And so I just changed the verbiage to home fragrance. And then I got 8 bookings. And those 8 bookings took me through my first 2.5 years in Scentsy and basically built my business. And because you booked from those, and I've just been helping a new consultant on my team. And I told her tonight, I said, look, the first 2 years, like a year, I made flashcards because I was nervous talking in front of people. I didn't know Scentsy. I didn't I'm like, oh my God, either I'm going to have verbal diarrhea or I'm going to forget things. So I made flashcards, and I just basically for over a year, I just said, I'm really nervous. I don't like talking in front of people, but I just want to make sure I tell you the important things and not all the things.
Yeah.
And so, and it worked out really well until I could get in the habit of knowing the products and things like that. So, within 7 months, I had earned the director title. Within 3 months, I had earned my first free trip, which back then it was
Can we just say 7 months to earn director?
with 14 people.
Oh my goodness.
So
That is fabulous.
I'm more proud of the 14 people than I am of the director. um, but in 3 months, I'd earned leadership. So I got a cruise to Cozumel, Mexico. Um, and my partner, Kiwis kind of have a different way, Kiwis are New Zealanders, have a different way of thinking about things. And Americans think we can do anything, in my opinion. That's how we're raised. We can do anything. They don't have that there. And I think it's coming now more. The younger generation is better at it. But everywhere I went, I said, I'm earning a trip to Mexico. And my man would be like, stop lying to people. You're lying to people. And I'm like, that's not how goal setting works. I said, you have to tell people what you're going to do, and then you have to do it so you don't look like a schmuck.
Yeah.
And so I had this tracker on my wall, and every night I'd look at my point and color in my tracker. I'm still a big color sticker girl. And one night, he looked at it and went, is that all you need? And I'm like, yep. And the next morning I woke up and looked at my point, and I filled in the rest of it, and I ripped it off the wall and I flung it at him. And I'm like, I told you I'm going to Mexico. And he never doubted me ever since. But that was kind of because I had been trying other things, because I'd been in direct sales in some form since 1995. I love direct sales. I love the opportunity. I like the way I'm very prize motivated. I love anything. Charms are like my love language in Scentsy. And the trips was this new thing, because I've had cars and I've had other things, but never trips. And so thank you, Scentsy, for getting me addicted to travel. And so, and traveling well,
Yes, yes, that is true.
because traveling without Scentsy is totally different.
Yes.
It's not the same. They spoil us. So, but then, yeah, a couple of months later, it kind of wasn't planned. I wanted to be a director before I hopped on that cruise ship. That was kind of my goal, like January. But it happened at the end of October, and so I'll never forget it. And I didn't notice, but my man noticed, because that's what men think about is money.
Mhm.
He went into the workstation and went, babe, do you know you just passed your full-time income that I had before my back operation? And I never had to go back to work again, which was amazing, because I hate working for other people. So that's kind of how my journey started.
Amazing.
And so through, oh my gosh, I don't even remember how many trips until I like something like, now I think I've been on 12 trips or something like that, because I'm a carrot person. I think carrot people are easier to
Yeah.
have on your team, because if they really want the dangle, they're going to go get it.
Yeah.
And I'm the dangle. So whatever you wave in front of me, I want it. Money's great. And I remember I used to get really excited, like I'm looking at all my charms. And I used to get so excited when they'd come, and he'd be just like, who cares? And I said, when the charms stop coming, the money stops coming. So you should be really happy about the charms.
Hmm. Good point. Good point.
I mean, like everybody has their thing, but it's kind of all,
Texas is a carrot dingler as well. She totally is. I am not. I mean yes, it motivates me, but not to that extent. Like Texas, yeah, you and Texas are totally one and the same when it comes to this. Yes.
well, I wear these at events.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. I went through 4 or 3 bracelets, and I needed my fourth one. And I was like, okay, it's too heavy, too hot. And I was like, so can I just not get another bracelet? Like, because I'm filled. And they're like, well, what do you want? And I was like, just keep sending the charms.
Yeah.
So I found a shadow box. But yeah, I'm a carrot dangler too.
Those and the
Love them.
bracelets before, it was hard to put them on without everything falling off.
Yeah. Well,
mm.
Like
you
they
had a
didn't stop.
screw.
Yeah, now they have a screw, they have something that stops it, but back then they did it. It was a pain in the ass. Can I swear on
Oh.
this, by the way?
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
swear a lot.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Yes. Trust
Um,
me, we swear. It's fine.
so this so this is like now a double strand, but at some point it will be, so these are the 2000s, but these are everything else. So and I
Oh.
have to say, and I'm just be blunt honest, I knew when I left New Zealand that this one wouldn't grow as much anymore because all those green money bags and those green crap, like those are all top sales in your title in your country.
In your
Yes.
region. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
region is a huge
It's
thing. Yeah.
well, it's a country for us because Australia has their own,
Oh,
New Zealand
yeah.
has their own. So,
Yeah.
so and top sponsors and things like that. When you have people like Debbie Pitts Palmer, I'm like, yeah, like I had to come a piece with try to get as many as I can before I leave New Zealand.
Yeah.
But these ones will still keep growing. So charms have always been my happy thing. Like I don't understand people that open their consultant guide or don't open their consultant guide and don't go look.
Yeah.
Like it freaks me out. The only thing I haven't earned is a shooting star because I didn't know. I had a kind of crappy sponsor in America that I went to high school with. So I had recruited like a ton of people and all this stuff. And I'm like, are you going to say anything? Because I'd been a director in another sales company, I kind of knew what she was supposed to be doing. And she wasn't doing it. Like, oh my God, you're the first person that joined my team, and I've been in Scentsy for 4 years. She's like, I'm not ready for you. Can I demote myself and can you roll up to the next person? And I was like, fine. And then she is helpful, but whatever. And so I just kept reaching until I found Jacqueline Roy. And so now we're good. And I consider myself hers now. Um, but so yeah, so basically just earning that. Then it came to the point where my man, I had moved to New Zealand in 2006 because of online dating. And he had said hi in January of 2006, came to meet me I was living in Illinois at the time. He came to meet me and stayed for 2 weeks to see if it was what we thought it was going to be. And then he met my family. And then I landed in New Zealand on the 1st of September. So I was there for 16 years. And for 13 years, Earl was there. And so as Scentsy really helped me bring out things that I thought I had lost. I tried other direct sales there and things that are my specialty, like makeup and stuff, but they're just different. And scrapbooking and all the things. Like I've done them all because I love all the things, but nothing was my thing. And so when I earned the first trip, he just looked at me and said, "Babe, I think you found your thing." And I said, "Yeah, I think I did." And then this thing has become everything.
I love this.
Um,
Now, I have to ask you real quick
yeah,
because for me, this has always been, I started out as a hobby and then I saw the income side of it and I was like, okay, I need to make, I want to make this kind of income every month. So this is what I need to do. So I really started working it as a business. But for me, it started out as that hobby because I simply just loved Scentsy and I loved the product and I loved the warmers and I was always a candle person and so I fell into it that way. So I fell
I
into
think
it
most people
backwards.
do.
I was not I'm going to get shooting star, I'm going to get sensational star. Like I am not the carrot dangler. I am not that person because for me it was just this is what I love and I'm just going to talk about what I love to my friends. Like this is it. I'm not really going to work this, so to speak. So
Right.
I fell into it. So for you, do you find this more as a passion or is it a passionate business? Like where do you fall with that?
Well, I guess I would say the thing I always say about Scentsy is I'm like, I don't need Scentsy products. I really don't. If Scentsy came out, like if they went back to Velada, I'd still stay. And I'm vegan, so I probably can't use half the crap they sell. But um, but I, it was kind of about the product because they didn't have warmers and they had like three kinds of candles back then when I was in New Zealand. It was like a red one, a white one, and a green one.
Mhm.
Um, Okoya came later with their exploding jars.
Mhm.
Hopefully that's not a slander remark. Anyway, but it's true. I have people that have the problem. They have scars in their backs from their
Yeah.
candles exploding while they're in the bathtub. And so my mom would send me wax melts to use in a burner
Mhm.
that were from Walmart. And so when people would come to my house, they'd go, "Oh, it smells so good." And I'm like, oh, they're from Walmart. You can't get them. So, and
Because you're
my,
in New Zealand.
I was in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And so, and my man hated candles. He just didn't like the idea of an open flame in the house. We have had cats set themselves on fire a little bit. They're fine.
Mhm.
Um, all of a sudden you're like, it smells like an old hair dryer I had in high school.
Shut
Yeah.
Oh, the hair's burning. Got it.
Oh.
Um, and so that kind of, so he really hated all of my 100 gypsy jobs that I tried in New Zealand because I could not find my thing. And so when this worked and I was having fun and I was achieving and I was making money, he was like, okay. But I remember the night I joined, because I was just recovering from my first back operation and I needed $50 to complete the amount because a starter kit in New Zealand's $169
Mhm.
and plus $18 shipping.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so um I was like, babe, can you transfer $50 into my account? And he goes, why? And I went, I'll tell you tomorrow. And so the next day came and he goes, what did you join? So that tells you enough about me that he was like, oh, what did she do now? And I said, well, I joined something called Scentsy. And I sat him with the computer and I was like, and all he did was look at the compensation plan and go, because all the other ones he called a money pit that I had been in.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, we're just giving money away, giving money
Mhm.
away. It's all they do is just get sucking money away.
Mhm.
He looked at the compensation plan. He was like, okay, this one actually looks decent. And he liked the idea that it wasn't candles. So he was on board, so to speak. He was never like poo-poo about it, but
Yeah.
he was cautious about it because I had tried other things. But that made him happy about it. So, but yeah, so the whole what did you join? I was like, oh, you don't know me.
I have a very similar story because it was now I had done other direct sales. I did jewelry, I did do a makeup, and I did an energy type company. I don't know how. I think it's health. It was health energy. But I never was like I'm into it. It was always just get my own products and that I get discount or some money back or whatever. And I had found I was cleaning in March of 2020. I was cleaning my garage and it was the week of spring break. My kids were out of school, so we were cleaning the garage. I was going through it. I found a warmer, an old warmer that I got back from like it was 2006 and then 2010. It was an OU a collegiate warmer and it was the original horseshoe like it's old. And then it had a mini warmer. And I found him and I was like, "You know what? I need to get some wax." And I was looking through and I had an old Scentsy bar that had been in storage, in and out of so many different places. It still smelled amazing. And I was like, so I just posted and I was like, anybody sell Scentsy? Because I didn't really want to go to the store. And the next day is when the world shut down for COVID.
Oh,
And I lost my job.
oh,
Yeah. So I lost the job that I was doing and I had bought 1 6 pack of wax and the lady I signed up underneath of kept asking, kept asking. And I finally was like, whatever. It was $20. It was in May
oh,
of 2020. It was $20 join. So I was like, whatever. It was like our last $20 because I wasn't working. My husband was working as much overtime as he could. And but I am a carrot dangler because I hit shooting star, sensational start 1, 2, and 3. I didn't know the first month that there was a 2000, like if you hit 2000 or higher, then you get a bonus along with more charms. I didn't know that. If not, if I had, I would have hit it because that first two
I didn't get my
years,
kit for a month. And so because my sponsor didn't tell me, I didn't know about Shooting Star. Nobody told me.
yeah,
So
I didn't
I'm
have a
still
kit
bitter.
either. It was taking like 7 business days to get it shipped out because everything had stopped and then it restarted. But when you have it's like stopping a ocean and then like, oh, we got to let it go through, but we're only doing a little bit here and there. And so I went off of literally just going online on my website and reading descriptions. That's all I did. Anytime someone asked, I'm like, this is what it smells like. And I would just compare it. Like if it said it was, because it was summertime. So if it said it was like a banana cream pie, I'm like, just think about going to the store and you just defrosted it and you're about to eat it. That's what it's gonna smell like. Or strawberry short, or what was it? Strawberry something, strawberry sweetie. And it was like, it's like strawberries. Like I was just comparing it to whatever the descriptions were. And when it
I,
finally showed up, I only had 10 testers. I got 10 testers, 5 catalogs, and a mini
that's
warmer.
right. Yeah.
$20 kit. That was it. No business supplies, no nothing. And the next month I hit like 2,800 in sales. And the next month I was up at 3,800. It was just, and it was an accident. I hit director so fast that I didn't know I hit director. Like I didn't know, I didn't know. My upline had never sold more than 1,200 at the time. We started competing on seeing who could get the biggest in sales because she's competitive, I'm competitive. We pushed, and then it was like she was kind of done. She's
It's
like,
the
I can't.
dangler. It's
Yeah,
the
she's like, I can't
dangler.
teach
You
you
guys
anything
are
else. I'm like,
danglers. I am
what else
not.
can I?
But
I
I
was like,
love this though. I love this.
I'm like, what else can I achieve? Like, it's okay. So I got the trip in Disney. I got to go to Disney with my family, and it was just solidified. I was like, I'm in forever. It doesn't matter. I haven't earned a trip since. I've earned levels. I just haven't earned enough levels on the trip. So I have earned something every single incentive. I just haven't always hit like the top tier to go on the trip because you can't make I can't get the sponsoring points when it's hard. Whenever I didn't even know what sponsoring was, people were just joining me because I was having fun.
Mm,
So
yeah.
yeah,
I've had people just like my energy and they're like, whatever you're doing, I want to do that.
yeah.
I like your vibe. And I'm like, okay.
Do they ever say I can't do what you do because of your vibe? Did you
Um,
ever get?
no, it was more because of I do have a good hyper focus and I do, because I chose not to have children, everybody think that means that I can work 24/7, which is not true, but I do have a little bit of leniency. I used to share everything I did. And then I learned quickly when people said, oh, I don't have time to do what you do, to stop sharing everything I did.
I wish I had met you back then. I was sharing everything I did because I didn't want to gatekeep. I wanted to show them everything. Like, this is what I'm learning because I'm a fast learner. And I forgot that not everybody is a fast learner like I am. And so I'm like, ooh, today I learned this. I learned this on Canva. And, oh, and I was on Jotform. And oh yeah, I did this and I did this. And here's all the trainings for it because I went ahead as I'm going through, I'm screenshotting and doing all this recordings. And here you go. There's 15 videos I did today
Yes,
because
yes,
I
yes, yes.
so it's like I just gave them everything. So I drowned them, and they're all like, people would see me like, I can't do what you do, and I'm like, please don't be like me. Please don't be like me. I did all the hard things, so you don't have to do the hard things. I figured out the nitty gritty, so you don't have to. I basically have this laid out to you on a platter. All you have to do is look. That doesn't work either. So, but
Nope.
I wish I had felt like I had spoken to you before because I was just giving everything to everybody because I didn't know I should slowly show
I've
them
learned that
some things.
what 80% of my team, 80-90% of my team are loyal, active. Uh-oh, Lisa's cat has entered.
Oh,
Um,
Lisa's
uh,
missing out on George.
yeah,
Oh,
and
she's
he's
going to be
leaving
so
again.
jealous. I
He's
can't
leaving.
wait.
He's leaving now. He's scared. He's gone.
Oh.
He
But
heard voices.
I heard he's like, oh no, that name Lisa. I know that name. Um, but I think you have to look at what your team is and honestly look at your team, where they are, where they're at, and mentally, financially, all the things, and kind of go, okay, well, if only 20 to 10 to 20% are not even in the headspace of me, I need to not be me all over them. Because they tend to be really hard on themselves because they think they need to be doing this and they need to be doing this and they need to be doing that, when they don't. They literally just need to be talking to people and sharing some sense. That's it.
Yeah.
And whatever time frame that is for them, whatever season it is for them, whatever. And so I kind of learned that about my team, that if I stick to basics, it's a better team environment on my page for sure. Like even like in the share group, when people do cute ideas with gifting and gift wrapping or different ways to do something, but it's not about booking, selling, and recruiting. Do you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's more the fluff, or hey, did you know you could do this, like how to reuse your fragrance flower jars. It's almost like a second VIP group in a way, but with just more training.
Yeah.
Had to kind of compare it a little.
Yeah.
But that's something that I've learned. I've also learned that Kiwis and Aussies do things very differently than Americans. And so, 98, 95 now percent of my team is still region 3. So, um, that is to find that balance as well. And then to make sure that, because I know I struggled when I was there. And now that I'm here, I'm still fighting for region 3, because I'm like, stop saying dollars. When you do a training, stop saying dollars. It's rude. Scentsy is a global company and it's not dollars, it's PRV. Stop.
I was just gonna say the same thing because I do a weekly training with my group and then I share it out on my YouTube, right? And so I know not only within my group do I not only have I have more Canadians than I have
Yeah,
anything out of the US, right? But that's still different, right? So it's different. I did have a New Zealand team member at one time. I had a London team member at one time. So when I started having those team members in different regions, I really had to train my brain to say no more dollars. We talk in PRV. And I love that you brought that up because even today, in the training that I did for my weekly training for my group that I, put all out, whatever, because I know it's going to hit different people. I have to always remember. I remember specifically in my video because I don't write scripts, I don't do all that. I just talk. And so I specifically remember
permission.
saying PRV and in my head like before I said the word it was, remember to be active, you have to have 200 PRV, right? It's not dollars, it's not, it's not all the different currencies. And so even today that was a thing that I'm like, no, we have to focus on those basics because you never know who you're reaching and at what stage in their business or journey, whatever, if
That's right.
even if it's not a business, if it's a
So
hobby,
is
where
it
they're
still
at.
200 in the other regions of
Yeah,
PRV?
yeah,
So then there's a conversion
PRV
for it.
is, yes, PRV
correct.
is
It's
So
across the
across
like
the
in
board.
New
board.
Zealand,
Yes.
because you have a peg rate in every country.
Right.
So
Right.
New Zealand 200 PRV is $370.
Okay.
So yeah. So but like I've tried to train, because I will be snarky about it at this point in Jacqueline's organization, because if somebody says dollars, I will put in the comments not dollars for,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, and I usually say, in case there's any new consultants in here so that they're not confused.
Mm-hmm.
My
Right.
people would be like, oh, I only need $200. No, you need 370. But she said, no, no.
So
And they don't say
PRV.
US dollars, they just say dollars. So that's the other thing. So I still fight that here because it just is really a very fixed mindset, if you want to go in a nice direction with the word, um, into the America's not the only fucking country on the planet. Like
Right.
we are in
Exactly.
14 countries. We are a global company.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you so narrow-minded to only speak American numbers? Like even
Yeah.
with the Canadians, like Becky
Yes.
Taman is always like, thank you, thank you. And she goes, yeah, it's this in Canada. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's in the fight with me now with this PRV thing.
Yes.
Well, and
Yes.
But
now that I know, I mean, I don't have any other teamies that are in different regions, but I didn't even think about that because normally the only people I'm talking to are my teamies who are all I, local in the United States. They're not
okay.
talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
But and I never thought about that after putting my trainings because I would train in my VIP or in my team group, and then I would start. Jackie was like, "You need to put it on YouTube," and so I started. But I never thought about the PRV because again, since I didn't have anybody international, I didn't have anybody in different regions. It was never a focus for me because I wanted to talk to my team. So that's a really good insight for especially if people are trying to get other consultants in different regions or if they know of someone who's wanting,
Well, not only that, but you don't know who you're going to talk to.
right.
Mhm.
Like you really
Well,
don't.
and
And
Now
to
I'm like, I'm changing my entire mindset. I'm sitting here going like, it's PRV, not dollars.
that's the thing too, because and for Texas very well, because I've been doing my YouTube for a while, right? Like I'm pretty comfortable on YouTube. Most of my content is there. Texas is like I'm starting to try and grow my YouTube. I'm trying to start to work on that, right? Like so those are things that consultants who are trying to grow are looking for that. And I think you have to remember that again, you're on a global platform.
Yeah.
When yes, maybe you're just recording this on your team page, but you're also going to use this on Instagram or Pinterest or YouTube or wherever it is. You have to remember that you're going to have people who will, like Patty was talking about earlier, right? Like they just enjoyed her. They connected with her personality and how she was doing things and how she talked and how all the things, and they were like, I want to join your team. I don't care whose team it is, where it is, I'm joining you. And so when those people are connecting with you, you have to remember it is not you don't have those blinders on all the time, right? Like you have people from other countries. I've never been to Europe. I've never been to New Zealand, but I've had team members there. I have team members currently in Guam. Do you know I had to look Guam up on a map? I didn't know where Guam was.
And you're like,
I
but I
had
got a
American
team
no
here.
only.
idea. I had to Google it. I didn't know, but those people found me because of you, because of my platforms. And
Right.
so I think if you are growing this as a business, that is a huge mindset shift.
And I don't think you have to know the exact amount. I
No.
think you just need to be aware to say American dollars if you're going to talk dollars, or and then say something like, please check in your region. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what that is, check with your whatever. But I don't expect. Now, saying that, one of my best friends is from Ireland, and I met her at immigration in New Zealand. I also have a friend
Oh.
that was from France who I met at immigration, and they both had joined my team, but then they're trying to recruit in Ireland and France. So somehow, and then I've always wanted somebody in the UK, and I still don't have anybody in the UK, but it's a thing because I'd want one in every region. And so there is this thing. I know we're kind of going off of the journey a little bit, but the more you think, some people might think, oh, this is way too hard. It's really not. It's actually giving a crap about other people, in my opinion, and understanding it's not all about you, because nothing in this business is all about you. Nothing. And so how could somebody in another, like, I became friends with a German consultant recently. She doesn't speak English very well, and I don't speak German very well because someone tried. I'm the firstborn American in my family. So everybody else speaks German. But if you try to make me do things, I won't do them. So, um, but we have started communicating, and it's been fun because we're just kind of talking. But even just following somebody from another and having access to their website, like going, oh, I know, I'll go to Simone's because she's in Germany, or I'll go to Alexandra and Scott Watson's because they're in Spain. So I can get the prices, I can get the catalog, I can get the this. You can go into your workstation and click the little flag on the top. So many people don't know this, but you can just click the flag on the top and it'll take you to the news section in any of the countries and their, like, all their stuff. So you have no excuse not to know.
Yeah, because that's another thing. Because here in the US, obviously, we have different seasons than even Region 3 with New Zealand
Yeah,
and so it's really knowing what's available in what region too. That's another big part, another
different
big
hemisphere.
mindset
So
shift.
they're going spring summer now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
see?
I didn't I guess I knew that, but whenever you watch like the lives that Dan does and he's sitting there talking about like, so here's our Christmas stuff for region 1 and then here's our summer stuff for, region 3 and they always kind of joke about it because they're like, if Chuck's on there, if Lacey was on there, one of them would be like, yeah, because it's a different season. It is hot down there when it's
Mhm.
cold up here. And you stop and you're like, because we are a global company. And I always, it's like, but like meeting, like understanding now more, just talking to you is like, I need to be more aware of that because growing it, I mean, again, with content that can be accessed anywhere, it's the small things because
Yes.
I never realize it because I say $200 on, some things, but then I try to make sure it's 200 PRV because they may sell $200, but there's a licensed item in there. It's not $200. It needs to be 200 PRV. So I do try to catch myself on that, but I never thought about it if I did have somebody that came across my content that, it needs to be PRV and not saying dollars or saying US dollars so that way they can do the conversion or they're like, "Oh yeah." Because I know a lot of the Canadians know, and I've seen in the group
Yeah.
that when we say it's a $20 join special in US dollars, they know it's their 30 or whatever it is, the difference.
36.
36. I knew it was 30 something. I just knew it was like, it's like, yeah.
I have a lot of Canadian team
Yeah.
members and I have to go. And that's another thing, even in my group page, like even when I'm trying to put out like the warmer and scent of the month picture and stuff like that, I'm always trying to remember, well, I know I have active Canadian consultants because that's well, right now, yeah, because I don't have my region 2 and my region 3 both dropped off. So I only have the Canadian consultants, but it is a different conversion. So I'm like, whenever I'm thinking of things, it's making sure, yes, I'm sharing these Canva templates and here's this, or here's this fun flyer I found or saw, thought you guys could find it helpful. I'm always trying to remember in the back of my head, like, is there a conversion on there or is there a different flag on there? Because again, I don't want to confuse those other people because yes, I'm sharing it at my group page or my team page and I think, okay, it's just them. But then what happens? I end up sharing it on some website or during a YouTube and I link it there or on a Canva template or whatever it is that I'm doing. And again, there's going to be more people who are reaching you. And
Mhm.
so I think just being cognizant of that fact of, yes, America is, I don't know what the numbers is. I really don't. I don't know how that all boils down. I know we have more American consultants than we have others in other regions, but again, we're a global company, we're still growing. So that's not to say that that's how it's going to continue. But at the same time, when we are specifically those of us who do focus on that social media push, because we're always looking for new customers, we're always looking for new team members, then we have to remember that not everything is dollars. And I think that
Well,
that is just something you always have to be thinking about.
it's one thing to know that America is bigger. I mean, it took me what 4.5 hours to drive from the East Coast to the West Coast of New Zealand. So like, hello. Um, but there's a way you don't have to act like that.
Yes.
And I will say, being in region 3, I used to always say we are the barnacle on the bottom of Scentsy ship because that's how we always felt. We were forgotten, we didn't get the same products, we were left out of this, we were left out of that. Oh, we didn't get this, oh, we don't get that in the consultant store. I mean, there are lots of, and region 2 is crazy worse
Mhm.
of what they're allowed in their country, what their sample information has to be, because I was one of the admins in the sample group, so I learned, wow. Um, but it's that it's it's kind of that overall feeling of, we're here too.
Yeah.
It's not just about America. And even though I'm American, I still fight hard for my region 3 people. Like, they came to SFR. I had 5 come from SFR. One that has cerebral palsy in a wheelchair, and she paid for her caregiver to come. That's over $10,000 they spent to go to SFR. So
Oh my
for
gosh.
people to complain about the things that they complain about in America
Hmm.
and the things they make excuses for and all that, I have zero tolerance, because
See.
when my team shows up, they show up. I do understand the financial. Every time I came to America for leadership or something, it was a $3,000 plane ticket every single time.
Yeah.
And money doubles because of the conversion rate from here to there, but it halves from there to here. So there's all these things, and we don't have a warehouse in New Zealand either. So things take, funny enough though, they kind of almost take that to get to Wisconsin. I feel like this. I'm like, I feel like I'm waiting kind of the same amount of time I did in New Zealand. That's very weird. Um, so
Oh,
there's just a different mentality of acting like you're the only one
yeah.
versus no, I don't know how to explain it. There's just a feeling, and I
It's
don't
kind of having like a just a broader perspective because I even again I've got team members, active team members in Guam. I have active team members in Hawaii because of the military presence. So that I've got a
right.
lot of military wives who are on my team. And I never really, I mean, I've always thought about it, right? Because again, I'd had global team members. I'm more Canadian than anybody, but I've had global, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I've always kind of been in that mindset. But when it came down to even when our shipping prices changed, what, 3, 4 years ago, whatever it was, that they recategorized the shipping structure and like in America, everybody was freaking, they were freaking out. And my
Oh, because
Hawaii
that it
team
was like
members were
$8
like,
up to $80,
yeah,
and then
my
10% after
Hawaii
that.
team members were like, Jackie,
Mm-hmm.
we already pay like $20 shipping, okay? So like y'all have nothing compared to what we
New
already
Zealand does
deal
not
with.
have free shipping, and every time they keep saying training with, well, get them free shipping. We're like, we don't have fucking free shipping, so shut the fuck up.
Yes, see, it's moments like that that you're like, oh my gosh.
Well, and I
Yeah.
wish that they would put something, so especially now that I'm more aware, is that I wish that when they do the news tab in the United States, like when we see something new drops or something of like they're changing to, now it's free shipping for $350 US, that they would say they'd have an asterisk and being like different in other regions, because
Mm.
I wouldn't know that their shipping difference, that they can't have a 350 PRV would get you free shipping in New Zealand, or if it is or isn't in region 2. But
That's
I
not
mean,
even a
That's a really
qualifying
great point.
party.
huh?
That's
That's
not a
not
qualifying party.
right.
Mm.
So it's like, well, 350 PRV. So I did like, so if I said that, but it still wouldn't
Yeah.
be, you still wouldn't get discounted or anything different on shipping. But for somebody who doesn't have someone there to be like, hey, like I didn't know about Hawaii and Alaska that they do not get shipments like everybody else in the United States, because it is not just picked up at the warehouse and, shipped over to UPS and then it's trucked. It is flown or shipped in from across the sea, or it's flown over Canada to go to Alaska, and then it's like a parcel drop. And so it's different, and they can't get discounted ship
And
because,
Mexico runs very different as well.
so
Yes.
I mean, like, I'm learning so many things because it's just something that if you don't know what you don't know. But for our
But do
training
you
and
want to know is the question,
I
because even if they put that asterisk there,
I
I
read
would
it.
say 80 to 90% of the people be like, I don't care.
But see, I love to learn. I love to retain information. And
So
for
do I.
something like that, like you're my soul sister. I'm so vibing on you right now. But I really think that having the information, it's different if people don't want to see it, but the people who like to know tidbits like that, I
Mhm.
feel that if it was more, if it was expressed more in some of the news tabs, that like this is going to be released in region 1, but not in region 2 or 3. Or this is, of course, in region 1, we wouldn't see the stuff that y'all get in 2 and 3 because, you know, I
Do you
don't
know
have
what
any
the
team.
after the end of month live when someone does the big list,
Uh-huh.
nothing except America stuff is in it.
Well,
And
you need to talk
sometimes
to Miss
Canadian.
Lisa because Lisa always does that list.
No, but she will adjust. But no,
Yeah.
I mean the one where they actually type it all out in the post, like
Yes.
in a
Yeah.
post in
Yes.
the director page.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes it has Canadian stuff in it, but it
Mhm.
never has anything else but region 1 in it. And every time I look at it, I'm just like,
Well, you need to start being
they
like,
gave
where's region 2
you
and 3
the
stuff?
information and you made the decision to not give a crap,
Right.
to share it
Yes.
with other
Yes.
people
Yes.
that are also directors in this group from all over the world. Like,
Right.
you made that conscious, like, I'm sorry, I'm bringing school in, but I'm just like,
I
Your
Hey,
love that.
actions are speaking louder than your
I
typing.
can't
and
wait for November 1st because if I see a post, I'm so gonna comment. I'm gonna be
I'm
like,
gonna be like, where's region 2 and 3?
hello,
Hello, we need information for
we're
everybody.
missing
Did you
stuff.
see, did you see SFR, the SFR post? Because
No,
I
I didn't.
said,
Which one?
that's not, because poor Patty. Patty had said, like where the location was or something for next year's SFR or last. Oh no, she did the years of where all the SFRs have been,
Okay. Okay.
and she did region ones only. And I'm like, yeah, but you forgot region 3 was this. And then she did, somebody gave her region 2, but then Germany got upset because they don't consider themselves Europe. That's
So they're
different.
not. So is Germany region 2,
Yes.
but they have a different SFR
Yeah.
than the Europeans?
Some
Oh,
years,
see,
some
some
years.
years.
I mean, when it's not
Okay,
global, like last year was global,
But it
so
right.
it was
caused this
global.
thing.
But
And I was like, I just private message Patty going, oh my God, I'm so
I'm
sorry.
sorry. Well, and again, it's like the information that we have. It's almost like I don't know if I can even see the other regions since I don't have the.
Again,
So even if I don't have any consultants and I
you
don't
can't.
pay
No,
the.
here's the thing. Even if you don't have that region, you just have to sign up for that
Okay,
region, just
no,
like
but
in your account tab.
not in the news part, because I can
Oh,
see
oh
region 2
yeah, not in
stuff.
the news part. You're correct.
okay,
But in order, like for me, like Patty had said earlier, if you go up, a lot of consultants don't realize, but there's in the upper right hand corner, there's a little flag and
I'm
it will
going.
show the flag. And so like if I want to see my for Canadian, what do they see? If they were
Mhm.
looking at my page, like it will show me that, right? So I
You're
can go in
talking
and
like
that's where
on the
I can get that
website or the
information.
No,
workstation?
workstation.
On the workstation.
Workstation.
Okay, so I'm
Yep.
And
on.
so then when things come out and it's a release, then I know even if I didn't catch the conversion or if I need to help someone
Oh
with what
my
the
gosh.
conversion is or whatever, that's
Mind
how I can
blown.
flip to see that. But
Okay,
yeah.
so I think I'm gonna do a screen share because this I didn't see. I've never seen this because I didn't know that that was a thing. Because I was looking on the news tab, I'm like, there's no flag thing, but it's in the different posts. So I'm gonna do a quick screen share just
It's
because.
really funny how many people don't know that's there because
Mhm.
I've shared it like a couple. I'm like, just go
Yes.
click on the thing. And they're like, oh my God, I never
Okay, so
noticed.
can y'all see the friends? Can
Yes.
y'all?
Yep.
Okay, just want to make sure it's sharing. So right here is where we're talking about. Oops, come on off there. So when you click on this, it drops down to all of them, and this
Yep.
is like I love new information, and you can actually pick the different ones and find out the information on that warmer for those others. So like
Yes.
here, we'll even pull up the New Zealand
Aw.
just for
Because I was
you.
gonna say, because even when it comes out to like what's coming out or the, like the new seasons, things like that, like there's gonna be different things coming out.
And
And
region
so
3 is a day ahead. And
Yeah.
so let's just
yes,
bring that point up. So every time
yes.
somebody publishes something from home office for
With the
region
date.
3 and they put the wrong fucking date or the wrong season, and I'm like, oh my God, we've been there now for almost 10 years in March. Really? We're still making this mistake. So I
I
get
mean,
like a little violent.
yeah, that's yeah, I can
Like, do you
understand. It's
need a
10
region
years.
3 person?
I mean, the company's only been here 20 years. I mean, you would think that they spent half the time they're over here.
And
But
Australia's been there 12 years, so they were open 2 years before New Zealand did. But yeah, my 10 years is March, and so they'll be here in New Zealand 10 years because I joined the day they joined. They
Wow.
opened. So it's those little things that probably to them maybe are like, oh, it's just a typo,
Mhm.
but it's
Yes.
like a bullet to the heart of all your consultants in that region. Like, oh my God, America's not the only damn country. Like that's
Yes.
what the root of it
yeah.
is that
Well, and it's
and it's all
leaving out
about
a
you.
whole group of people. So it's kind of like isolating them and alienating them from the group because they're like, oh, it's just a typo. You'll be fine. You can calculate what it is. And I
Some of us
never.
know now when we see it, we're like, wait, don't post that yet. I have a
Yeah.
feeling it's wrong.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so those of us have been in a while. I'm like, just wait. Just wait. And I
Yeah.
do have a downline director who is in New Zealand still. So I'm always like, if I miss something, can you please tell me? Um,
Helpful.
but
That's
honestly,
very
that
helpful.
drop down that you just showed, And when we do taco nights, I
Mhm.
go and get all the information, all the recruiting information, all the catalog links, all the everything from every country, because my team knows people from all around the world. So
Mhm.
I'm not just going to put New Zealand up there. I'm not just going to put Australia there. I'm not just going to put America there because we don't
Like
know.
all of
So
it. Yeah.
Well, and even if you don't know, again, if you are focusing, which I think most of us are in the society and where we are in the world, we are focused on getting content out there, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's Zoom, wherever it is, that's where it is. But a lot of us are starting to say, okay, I need to focus on this type of content. But that again, remembering that that content is a global content. So you may end up on someone's FYP page on TikTok someday, and when they click on you, again, they're going to have that bond, we hope, right, with one of us or whatever. And but at the same time, we have to remember that this content is going to live on past next week, past next month, past whatever, right? Like it's going to continue because that's how social media goes.
Yeah.
And for the most of us, that's where we focus on is TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all the social media. But even if we don't think we're reaching other countries, we are. Again, I've never been to Australia. I've never been to New Zealand. I've never been to
yet,
Guam. I've never been to Hawaii. I've never been to Alaska. I've never been to
Jackie, we need
Canada.
to go visit your
I
teamies in
have, but
Guam.
that's the thing. I have people who have joined me who were in those countries. I didn't go there. I didn't have a party with somebody who was there. They reached me, they found me through social media. And so if we keep that mindset of this is content that's going to be long-term content, and if we keep that consistency in the content, whether it's on TikTok or YouTube, whatever, right? Again, the farther it grows, the more people it's going to be able to connect with. And those
and
connections are going to
I
bring them
just
back to you, build your group, build your business, and then you have a sustained business.
I just want to add, because some people might listen to this and go, "Oh, this is just too much." And I'm going to tell you, you want other regions in your team. And I will tell you why. First of all, let's just start with my Region 3 team. It is summer there and Christmas. So their summer is when they spend Christmas money. So
Oh,
winter also, they spend money because they're in house and they're doing parties.
mhm.
They don't have the drop. So they're also awake when we're sleeping and vice versa. So your team, somebody's usually working on your team while you're sleeping and vice versa.
So you have
So
like 24 hours of consistent ups and downs
yeah,
for your cells of going a see. Wow. I
yeah, it's a balance. It's more balanced. Like if you look at Scott and Alexandra Watson, they pretty much, when a
Mhm.
new region opens up, they go there and they recruit and recruit and recruit. Like their business is amazing and it's so global. Um, and it's smart. It's really smart. You get different, you just get different when they're having a sale, when they kept screwing our flash sale up, Region 3's went off without a hook. So Region 3 had a great flash sale and I was like, "Whoop," because I sold nothing. All the false starts for 2 weeks. No, didn't happen here. But they sold a lot. And I was like, yes. So different holidays, different products sometimes help because of the different national holidays and things like that that they have, but it is a more balanced. Does it make you have a little bit of extra thought to things? For sure. Do you have to be perfect at it? No, but you have to be at least transparent and let them know that you're trying. I'm in the reverse. I'm now in America, but I can't tell you how much things cost here, but I can tell you how much they cost in New Zealand because for 8.5 years I memorized those prices.
Yep.
But here I'm like, hold on, let me just not tell you New Zealand prices. Let me go look.
Well, and I think that's something just to be aware of. And I really love that we kind of got off, like we're talking about this because I think awareness is kind of, GI Joe, the more you know. And it is something, I'm sorry, it's a reference, but it is something that when you don't know how it affects, other countries. And if you are wanting to grow this as a business, kind of like how Jackie was talking with the socials, and you're sharing this stuff out, and it is something that's international. I mean, my Facebook, I have it where after a year, it doesn't show posts older than a year. Only because like it'll show my highlights to me, but I don't necessarily have to post it. But I did that on purpose because I've changed the way that I've done a lot of my Scentsy. I've changed my profile. So it's not all me at the bar before I got
Yeah.
sober. Like I don't seriously like because my personal page was all about like I'm hanging out with my friends, we're at the bar, come see us, blah blah blah. And then my VIP was the only thing that was Scentsy. And I have changed that in the last 3.5 years to where more of my Scentsy is actually my whole profile
Yeah.
is all Scentsy. And then I have a business page that's more of the sales. But I just show my things of what I'm doing, or I'm going to school. But I do that purposely. And I never thought about it for the other platforms because I don't have that for Instagram. I think if you scroll back through my Instagram, you can probably see when I started way back whenever I only posted like once a week or once a month because I was a troller. That's all I did. The only reason I ever got on social media, just like TikTok, I was literally a troller up until 2 weeks ago. And
Mhm.
I've blown up. And so I'm doing good. But I learn things. And so I love to not only just regurgitate, but to explain it.
Yeah.
And I love this. Now that I know, I'm actually going to do a training on this about just understanding that because we are a worldwide fragrance company, that you don't want to not know about information that would affect someone that you know. Especially, Jackie talked about having some military wives that are on different bases in different areas. And you never know who here in the United States is going to leave and move to New Zealand and and be there for 16 years and have that experience and know. And so I absolutely love it. Like
I've had military spouses who they were transferred to Okinawa, Japan, and
Yeah.
they were like, "Now, how do I navigate this?" And I was like, "I,
I
I
don't know.
don't know." So I had to go through a whole thing, and I'm like, "Okay, I gotta know when this, like, I gotta at least have an idea or where to start or where to point them in the right direction." Like, that's wow. And that's just me being, and I can't imagine being in their shoes, right? Like even Patty, right? Moving from not only like I haven't ever even moved states. I was born, I was raised, I was planted in Kansas City, Missouri. I have never left except on a plane here or there, but that's it. So I don't know. I can't imagine moving to another country, another region of the world, and having that type of uh experience to be able to say,
So,
oh
and
my
then,
gosh, people do things so much more differently.
and now I had like, 900 customers and I had to leave them all there because they're in a different region.
Yes,
So I
yes,
had
Yes,
to
because
start
yes,
over at zero.
yes.
so for some that are watching and
Oh,
you may not know, but if your permanent location is in a different region, you can have people sign up under you, but you can't sell to them because anybody who buys off of my USA site will get it from a USA distribution. So if you're not in the USA,
Or Mexico or Canada.
oh yes,
because
yes,
Mexico
sorry.
and Canada, they
Yeah.
still all ship from Boise or wherever, wherever they're
That's
shipping from.
right.
Yes, yes.
So,
Just like
yes, so region
US.
1, I should say regions. If you're in
Yes.
region 1 and you have a customer in region 2 that's wanting to buy from you, they need to sign up as a consultant and then you can help them purchase themselves and then help them build a team.
Yeah.
And
So yeah.
I only
Or
learned
a
this.
hobby that builds into a business. Who knows? Who knows where it will go?
Well, and
But
I
that was,
luckily, oh, good.
oh no, fine. Go ahead.
Oh, luckily I did find out like I didn't know about the borders I guess contract to be able to basically sell cross borders for United States and Mexico until I had a teamie that her husband's family was all from Mexico. And
Hmm.
she was like, "They want to order stuff. How do I do it?" And I'm like, "Hold on." Again, I love just odd information. So when I couldn't find the workstation, I called customer support like 5 times because I'm like,
Mm,
okay, these are the questions I have. I got information.
yeah.
She would ask more, and I'm like, hold on. I'd have to call back and I'm like, okay, now they're asking this. And it was a back and forth because, again, if you have a question asked, I may not know. I'll be the first one to be like, I don't know, but hold on. And I will go
I
and
will find out.
I will find it. I will search it. If I can't get it from customer support, because for some reason, I'm like, you know what? We've never had someone ask that. I'm like, hold on. I will go
Hold
start
my beer.
searching.
I
Yeah, I'm
got
like,
you.
yeah, I'm like, I will start searching for other consultants in that region, or at least something that I know, or I'll post and be like, I need because we needed some Spanish flyers. And if I tried to translate Spanish, I know that any Spanish speaker would probably be like,
What?
huh? Because I would translate it like Google Translation. Well, that's not really how they talk. So
Okay.
I had to find the group and get her into the Spanish flyers that she could ask questions, because she wanted to be able to give it to her husband and he would type, but he didn't want to make the flyers because he doesn't know, like, so
Do
he
you
would
know about seating kits? Because a lot of people don't know about seating kits. And every time I tell someone to call consultant support, I'm like, ask for a manager, because regular CS won't know what you're talking about.
okay, give me
I
the
love
deets. Tell me
this.
what's the
I
seating kit.
love this.
Do you know, Jack?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
So a
don't.
seating kit, because my cousin lived in Mexico for 10 years. So I
Mhm.
sent him a seating kit because they're still thinking about joining, but now they're in America. But anyway, you can send a warmer, a bar, and a catalog anywhere in the world that Scentsy is from you, but you don't get the PRV for it. Scentsy gets the PRV for it. You pick out the warmer, you pick out the bar, and then they'll enclose a catalog for you. You pay for it for whatever it costs, and they will ship it to that person of your choice in whatever country you need it shipped to.
Oh my,
Yes.
see,
So I've done that to a couple different countries.
Well, I mean, that's a great way, because I can't send them one of my warmers because the
That's right.
plugs are different,
That's the thing.
the
Yes.
the voltage and everything else, and so
Yes.
that's why they started making some of the newer
Not
warmers.
in, oh, I was going to say not in Mexico, but in region 3 and region
Well,
2.
like region 2 and region
Yes.
Yeah,
3,
yeah.
yes. But
Yes. Yes.
they change. Well, there's some things that can't ship to Mexico. That's why
Correct.
they're not available.
That
So
But
too.
I
you
couldn't
use
just
their
think,
catalog. You look at their catalog and you choose. You don't use
yeah.
it from an American one. You choose from their catalog.
So that is a no. That Look at this. You're just dropping nuggets, and you're like, you don't know, and I'm like, no, I don't know.
It's
Um,
really funny that people don't know, because I knew this almost soon after moving. I don't know who told me it or how I learned about it or whatever, but when people go and they're like, I call consultant support and they didn't know, I'm like, no, call back and ask for a manager.
You're like, no, 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 no. Hold on. Ask again.
So I almost want, like, and because it used to be when I first started, because when I started hanging out with Jackie and we were zooming quite a bit, Jackie started getting all these people from Texas, and I'm like, quit poaching my people. So I started searching, like, it was one of those things that I started searching for people in Missouri, and I did. I got quite a few people in Missouri because, family relations and stuff. And so it was one of those things, but I never even thought about trying to reach outside of that, because I know that I have friends that have traveled abroad and some of them had stayed, but I was like, how do I get them to want Scentsy when I can't send them my scents, because region 2 has different scents and region 3 has different scents,
Mhm.
because the scents are just different across the board. I think there's a couple, was there like a handful that are the same?
Shipping's ridiculous, so don't even.
But no,
Yeah,
I mean, like,
there's
but
only a
it's like
small handful that
right.
is
So it's like
global.
I can't really get them even interested in signing up because I don't even have anything to entice them. But
Mhm.
knowing that now makes me want to rethink about, like, contacting them again, because no one's ever said that. I mean, but again, I've never had anybody other than we had the family member of one of my teamies that was lived in Mexico. And so we were able to get that taken care of in a different way. But like they didn't want to sign up because they were already doing so many other things.
Yeah.
So, oh, I better take a picture. Hold on, I'm gonna tell Lisa she missed out.
Oh my goodness.
He,
Oh
he
my
doesn't
goodness.
doesn't look happy.
He does not look happy.
Oh, I'm gonna tell Lisa she missed
And he looks so
out.
cute.
There you go, Auntie Lisa.
He's so
Aw.
big.
He's so big. 17.75 pounds. He's a Norwegian king
Oh
cat.
my goodness, you're
Now he's
kidding me.
like, get it off.
My cat weighs like 3.5 pounds.
He has one of those
Mine's
little
just under 5 pounds last time. So,
We have a real
Yeah,
tiny one
she's
too. So,
small.
but yeah. And
well,
of course, that's the one that I had to ship from New Zealand because it goes by weight. So,
oh my goodness. Oh, well, let's go ahead. We are a little bit past the hour. So we're gonna go ahead and close this out. Patty, I do have to say, I have completely enjoyed this. I definitely need to have you back on because I think
we
we
didn't go
need
through half the crap we were going to
I
I
know, but you know what?
know.
We might do this. We might
We're
do
gonna
the
do a
after.
part two. We have to
Yeah,
have a part two.
we'll have to
Everyone
do the
needs
after
part two.
hours, or we'll have to do part two. I know. I told you, we squirrel. I was like, I tried keeping it on, but then I was so interested that I got lost in it.
It's all good information though, because I don't think enough people know or are aware, or it's not even on their radar about other countries or how to or why, or like they're just like, nah, I'm just sticking to America. And I'm like, and so when people say, oh, I have to move from this state to
Yeah.
this state, and I just look at them and I'm like, so
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, you're like,
You didn't just have to pay a
You
okay.
three
can
thousand dollar flight to move everything I own
But you
back
can
here.
still sell to those people. Most of
Yeah,
my customers don't live anywhere near me now that
yeah.
I'm in America. They don't live anywhere. I'm Florida, Arkansas, like
Yeah.
California,
I
Colorado.
was gonna say I'm in Kansas City, Missouri. I am dab in the middle of the United States, and I would say I only have probably 2% of my customers who are actually local.
Yeah. And so when
Everybody
people
else
get
is in
weird,
way
like,
other
oh,
states. I
I'm
don't go
moving to
there. I
another
don't know.
state. What am I going to do? I'm going to lose all my customers. I'm like,
Yeah.
why?
Why?
Um, and plus you still have Mexico and Canada. I don't understand. I'm
You're
like,
like,
where
you have all these people. You hush.
right. And I'm like, I had Australia, New Zealand, and I built that. Like, I really built that. And I'm like, and now and so when I tell people, I'm like, if I didn't believe in Scentsy, do you think I'd start over again? Because I had to start over from zero.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I
Mm.
really think that we need to schedule, and not really a podcast, but we need to do a training. I think we need to do an international training for just it's just for reference for our for future teamies, for future just for the teams, and something that needs to be shared more through Cincy because I've been in for 4.5 years. And like the seating kit and like there's just things that we don't know that we don't know until it's brought to light. And
True.
then it's up to us. Now that I know, I can't say I won't be saying dollars, or I'll be saying US dollars, and so it'll be PRV. So that way, whenever I do reach anybody who happens to be watching it and not in region one, then not region one USA. But that way I never thought of it that way. It was never about being I know you kind of said earlier about being selfish, that like we're the big dogs, but it's just you don't think about it how it impacts other regions because this was the first year I got to be at a global SFR, and it was so interesting,
Yes. Yes.
of just being able
Oh
to
my
see all the
gosh.
different regions that had to travel across seas, as we were complaining about being in Florida and we had to take our 3-hour flight, and then we had to meet up, and we were like, oh, and we had to walk all these places. People
And if
like
I
flew
told you the
hours.
stories of all the travel problems, especially going through Houston because of
Yeah.
Houston, oh, we would be on here for days and you would feel
Yeah.
even worse for them.
Yeah. Oh.
But I really think it needs to be something that needs to be brought more to light, and I think we need
Yeah.
to be more vocal about it because the the biggest thing is it's not like we don't want to gatekeep it because if we don't know, if I don't know, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull it. If I don't know after being in for 4.5 years, and I'm in a lot of different groups,
And
but
you're a researcher.
I do. I love information. That's why I was like, tell me what I need to know because I want to be able to bring that to light. And I want to be able to just be able, like, it's just more of a aha. Like,
Yeah.
this is what it is now. What do you want to do with that information?
Yeah.
And from there, and you'll see me on videos in future that I'll be like, I'll be like dollars US, or PRV.
Just
I
say
will have,
PRV. Just get in the habit of just straight PRV. Because at the end of the day, also remember too, because if you want to look at it in through the US eyesight of it, right? PRV is different when we have licensed items.
Hmm.
right.
Okay, because we have a licensing contract, we have all that legal stuff on the back end. So when it says, yes, the warmer is 85 and we only make 70 PRV, we'll have people even internally in the US like, what do you mean? I don't understand. Okay, there's a licensing agreement, first of all. But second of all, again, this is a global company. We have global licenses, we have global abilities for our products, and they are made in all, most of them are in some regions others than others, right? But at the same point, we still have products that are coming from all different parts of the world.
I'm going to give you a little secret. So
Oh,
you know I'm slamming Scentsy. Well, anybody in Region 3 leadership is slamming Scentsy if you see this hashtag.
What
So
is it?
okay.
Wait a minute, hold
Are
on. The
you?
what?
This is gonna
The
be fun.
what?
Okay, go ahead.
Now I
no,
gotta
I'm
know.
fine. I'm fine
Okay.
because they know. Scentsy knows.
Oh,
But every time they do something and it's only Region 1, Region 3 people will go hashtag global just as a finger, basically. Because I'm like, really? Are we? Because this says we're not.
oh my goodness.
So when you see me do it or anybody
Yes.
else, you know exactly what that means.
I
Oh,
have goals. I have goals.
that is that's. Oh my goodness.
Because
Okay.
they when they came out with the whole global thing, that was their thing. Like, oh, we're gonna have the same products, we're gonna do this, and we are all like, yeah. hmm
Mhm.
It's better. It's way better than it was. I will say that.
Well,
And then
at
I
least
looked at
it's getting better.
region 2, and that they can't, like, they couldn't have scent circles and they can't have tubs of washer whiffs and they couldn't have this. And I'm like, oh my God, Region 3, be quiet.
Yeah.
So yeah,
hmm
be grateful for what you do have. That's all I'm
hmm
saying.
Yes.
Very true.
All right. Well,
Very true.
with that, I want to thank you guys for listening or watching us on Who Knows Best. We are just Scentsy consultants that have gotten together, all working our business differently. And today we had the amazing Patty Wunder, just enlightening us with so many aha moments about international, about our different regions and how it's compared to wherever you are. It's different in every region. And now that you're aware, let's see what you guys do with that information. She shared with our story of how she had to transition from being over in Region 3 and coming from New Zealand into the United States and having to rebuild her business, all the customers that she had to leave behind. Is something, and we're definitely going to have to do a part 2 because we hadn't even scratched the surface of her story. I hope you guys enjoyed it tonight. So make sure that you like, share, and subscribe wherever you are listening to or watching this. We love to know what you guys thought about tonight's episode. If you have questions, please make sure you drop them down below. We try to answer everything, or if you even have a topic or have some questions for Patty, let us know as well. We'll make sure to get you guys answered. Guys, I am Cassie Bollinger.
I am Jackie Duran.
I'm Patty Wonder.
And we just want to make sure you know I love you. Have an amazing day. You are strong. You are important. You are worthy. You can work this business. We all do it different. Find your path, find your passion, and share it. Learn how to start sharing it more often so that you can connect with more. Just as Patty has talked tonight, seriously, you have to talk about it. Don't worry about giving them all the things. Just listen to them, get them started, and get them on their path. We love you all, and we will talk to you guys soon.